fabulous penthouse studios of Business 1110 KTEK, this is The Price is Right. This is The Price of Business. Author of the hugely influential Empowerment to the People, award-winning, nationally syndicated columnist Kevin Price brings a fresh perspective to business news and the events that shape our lives. And now, here is the star of The Price of Business, Kevin Price.
And welcome to the show. I am Bill Nampick, right here for Kevin Price on The Price of Business, where we talk about you and your business. And we are so excited today. We have some guests in the studio. I'm going to tell you who they are. They are Manfred Sternberg. He is an attorney at law, and Alvin Castle. He is with everybody in Houston, and he's going to explain that to us. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill.
Welcome. Thank you.
Well, also, Manfred, let's get started with you. Let's tell people, you are an attorney, let's tell people what we're going to talk about today.
Okay. I am an attorney, been practicing law here in Houston for over 30 years, and I've gotten involved in something called crowdfunding. You might have heard about it with Kickstarter or Indiegogo, but the law has changed in the last year, and now you can raise equity or debt online using crowdfunding, and having the crowd is basically your supporters.
Absolutely fascinating. Now, just in case there is someone out there that is not familiar with the term crowdfunding, let's tell them the basics. What is it, just to get started?
Sure. Well, crowdfunding has been around for a long time. You do it every Sunday in church.
I was going to say that.
You do when you put your money in the dish that goes around. Basically, you're crowdfunding. That's called charitable crowdfunding. If you were to give money to the girls that are selling cookies for Girl Scouts, that is called rewards-based crowdfunding. You're giving them money, they're giving you something. But now, what's new is now you can sell stock that way, and you can sell stock that way to unaccredited investors. And Texas has got their own intrastate crowdfunding law, but the SEC has now opened it up so nationally you can raise money from unaccredited investors. And in Houston, Alvin Castle is really a instrumental player in spreading the word about crowdfunding. And so that's why he's here this morning to talk with us.
And I mentioned, Alvin, you're with an organization called Everybody in Houston. It sounds like you're with everybody. Let's tell people what that is. I feel good already.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. I'd like to thank everybody for having us. Everybody in Houston is a platform that invites all of Houstonians to the concept of crowdfunding. Where essentially the stories of the entrepreneurs who are doing crowdfunding, more specifically equity crowdfunding deals, can be platformed, told, exposed, and even more importantly directed to the actual deal platforms themselves. And so what we like to do here in Houston, being essentially the third largest city in the country soon to be, we actually occupy a very unique space in crowdfunding, because the crowdfunding law that we have here in Texas allows an entrepreneur to actually reach the densest amount of investors, citizen investors, every Houstonian, within our radius. And so what we want to do with everybody in Houston is invite everybody to the platform so that they can actually be a part, both in terms of entrepreneur and investor, to create jobs, generate business development, etc., in our dynamic sphere.
And Alvin, when you say everybody, do you mean everybody? I love that. Now, is there a website in case people want to follow along for your organization?
Absolutely, just as the name.
That is so great.
So if they go to everybodyinhouston.com, spelled out in the King's English, the proper way, everybodyinhouston.com, they'll be able to find articles. They'll be able to find some of our upcoming shows that we have, that we do on a regular basis to educate the public and allow them to be able to have an opportunity to raise money for their own businesses.
So tell us about those shows that you have. Do you do those routinely, or?
Yes, we try to do the show on a quarterly basis right here in Houston. And essentially what we do, we have experts such as Manfred, in fact, who speak at the shows, educating the public. We had former Texas security commission board members speaking at the show. We've had various portals that have actually very successfully raised money at the shows, raised money through their platform speaking at the shows. And so what we do here, the next show we'll have very recently here. So if everybody, I encourage everybody to please go to the website, everybodyinhouston.com. And essentially what you get is a full day of a free equity crowdfund education, which then would put you in any position to be able to understand how you can then, leverage this exciting law for your benefit.
So I went to the last one, and they had investors, they had people that were looking for investments.
Right.
They had people that had product that wanted to show it to the crowd and raise money from the crowd. And in fact, one of them is a client of mine, Ellie Grid, and they've done real well. In fact, they've had a successful crowdfund on Indiegogo. I think they've raised a couple $100,000 to make their item in China, and they've won all sorts of awards because the crowd likes it. And it's really the internet meets investment, and it becomes a lot more scalable than ever before. So it really is going to change the whole dynamics of investing, borrowing money, raising equity, all of that, don't you think?
That's right, because it allows now the citizen investor to communicate directly with their fellow citizen in educating them about their specific deal. So now the threshold to getting investment for your business is essentially the affinity that you develop with somebody who can truly understand your story and truly want to help and help you, and in addition to that, help themselves. So there's no longer a situation where a bank is a barrier to capitalization for business here in Texas. And with our business-friendly atmosphere, we have done a very great job of essentially setting this structure up. Now the important part is for us to use this.
And it sounds simple, Alvin, that people, when they're exposed to certain ideas or products, they attach themselves to that, and that's where they get behind it, thus in the crowdfunding way, right?
That's right. And what's really nice about it is that it allows the entrepreneurs to be very creative in expressing themselves about their specific deal, and they can do it in very unconventional ways. And it allows them to really be able to connect with people in a way that speaks to them.
And of course, again, everybodyinhouston.com, they can go there to be aware of the events, right? You post them. And the other thought I had about this event is that you say it's all day and there's no admission, is that correct?
Right, there's no admission fee because
So they learn the basics, and by the time they leave, they see some great guests, and we do have a great pool of people to talk to right here in Houston. As you said, it's almost the third largest city, so always great guests. So by the end of the day, they're already advanced in their knowledge of crowdfunding and also meeting a lot of great new people, right?
That's right. In some of the areas that are really hot in crowdfunding, the number one area of crowdfunding is real estate. It's a well understood asset class. People understand it. It is, you can see it, you can touch it. Second one is oil and gas, which is also really big here in Houston.
And that goes on here all the time, every day in a magnificent way. And I like how you said that, Alvin, almost the third largest city. We're hearing that all the time. People are coming all the time. Alvin, let's tell them, how can they reach you again?
Well, I encourage everyone to go to everybodyinhouston.com.
Everybody in Houston.
Everybodyinhouston.com. Tell your friends about it. Tell your coworkers about it. Because as we actually connect on this particular platform, we will actually become the most powerful investing base in the country if we all create that synergy that we're all capable of. So everybodyinhouston.com.
Very nice. And Manfred, if someone wants to reach out to you?
ManfredLaw.com. ManfredLaw.com. Manfred Law.
It's too easy. Thank you, gentlemen. You are listening to The Price of Business. Bill Nampick here for Kevin Price. We're going to come right back with even more after these important words. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have heard it said, ignorance of the law is no excuse. You don't have to be a lawyer to get proper litigation defense when you defend yourself with any weapon, to include a karate chop or a gun. No license required. All you need is selfdefensefund.com, who will litigate on your behalf all the way to the Supreme Court if necessary, covering all court fees and appeals. A gun law class or seminar may not keep you out of prison, but a selfdefensefund.com membership could. We are on standby 24/7 to defend our members aggressively. One call, no out-of-pocket expense or reimbursement plan, comprehensive and extensive benefits like no other. Selfdefensefund.com. Lawyers are standing by. Any weapon, any state, anytime.